हेलो फ्रेंड्स। जेई के प्रॉब्लम्स वैसे तो काफ़ी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड होते हैं, बट इन दिस पर्टिकुलर सीरीज वी आर लुकिंग एट हाउ वी कैन मेक the complex problems appear simple or get a shortcut solution. So let's get started. Here is the problem which is given, as you can see on the screen. It says that a plane cuts x, y, z axis such that XYZ axis such that all the intercepts are natural numbers. मतलब 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. And the sum of X, Y and Z intercepts is given to be 10. Okay, and the question asks the total number of such possible planes is 5, 120, 36 and none of these. So now let's look at this particular problem, the conventional solution of this problem. So here it is. I have drawn a picture. So this is x-axis, this is y-axis and this is z-axis. Now this particular plane cuts the three axes at point P. So the coordinates of point P will be A, 0, 0. The coordinates will be A, 0, 0 of point P. Now it cuts the y-axis at point Q. So the coordinates of point Q will be 0, B and 0. It cuts the z-axis at point R. So the coordinates will be 0, 0 and C. So A, B, C are what type of numbers? They are natural numbers. And then the sum of these has to be 10. So we get an equation which is A plus B plus C has to be equals to 10. So in the conventional solution, which we will look at, we use a formula. We use a formula which is shown here, It says that the distribution of n identical objects in r different boxes, if empty boxes are not allowed, is given by NC1. So in our case, the second one, the or part applies, which is number of positive solutions, integral solutions of the equation x1 plus x2 plus so on up to xr is given to be n. So हमारे केस में क्या है? This is the one which applies. So हमने देखा है कि a plus b plus c has to be 10. So now since this particular formula has to be applied, we will see what is n. So n is this particular 10. So n is equal to 10 and then r, because we are given the right hand side is n, so it becomes n. And now the number of variables is r. In our case, the number of variables is 3. So r equals to 3 and n is equal to 10. So हमारा फॉर्मूला क्या बनता है? हमारा फॉर्मूला ऐसे बनता है कि n is 10, so 10 minus 1 c 3 minus 1, n minus 1 c r minus 1, which is 9c2, which is 9 into 8 divided by 2, which is 36, which is option C. So इस तरीके से we find the problem. Let me quickly take a recap of how we did. We just made a visual picture, then we gave the points of intersection as P, Q and R. P के coordinates थे A, 0, 0. Q के coordinates थे 0, B, 0 और R के coordinates थे 0, 0 and C. So the constraint that we were given is A plus B plus C as per this particular condition given in the problem. Now we use this particular formula which is given in the permutation and combination का जो formula है उसमें दिया है कि number of positive integral solutions of the equations x1 plus x2 and so on up to xr equals to n is given by n minus 1 c r minus 1. So हमारे केस में n की वैल्यू थी 10, n equals to 10 because ये राइट हैंड साइड में आता है n. हमारा इक्वेशन था a plus b plus c equals to 10, a plus b plus c. और हमारे पास वेरिएबल्स कितने हैं? 3 variables are there, so R becomes 3. So हमारा solution क्या बनता है? 10 minus 1 C3 minus 1, 10 minus 1 C3 minus 1, which is 9 C2, which is 36, which is given as option C. So ये रहा conventional solution. Now we will look at what is a चुटकी वाला solution. So अभी हम लोग इसी प्रॉब्लम का शॉर्टकट सॉल्यूशन देखते हैं, which is a चुटकी वाला solution. So again, let's quickly read the problem. A plane cuts XYZ axis such that the intercepts are natural numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ही होना चाहिए और उसका sum 10 होना चाहिए. So based on this particular diagram, we got a condition that A plus B plus C equals to 10. Now let's look at this particular problem in a different perspective. So मैं क्या करता हूँ, instead of taking the plane and so on, मैंने ये यहाँ पे draw किया है, which I'll show you. मैंने 10 marbles डाले हैं और यहाँ 10 circle बने हैं. Made 10 circles here, and I'm going to use 2 separators or flaps, 2 separators or partitions or flap. That is what I'm going to use to split these 10 circles. So let me just as an illustration, put the first partition here and the second partition here. Okay, so what happens is this particular part, I call it A. This particular part, the number of marbles in this particular first partition become A, the second partition becomes C, and naturally the third partition becomes C. So no matter where I place, remember I'm repeating, no matter where I place my partitions, I'm going to get this particular equation A plus B plus C equals to 10 as always true. Okay, so let's take another example of the partition. Let me erase this particular partition and put the partition here. Okay, arbitrary. Still, A plus B plus C is equal to 10. So the problems boils down to how many ways, in how many ways can I place this particular partition P1 and P2 between the 10 marbles. And now, because the solution needs natural numbers, I cannot place the partition here because then the A partition becomes 0, which is not allowed, nor can I place the partitions here at the same place because the B partition will become 0. Okay, so A cannot be 0, B cannot be 0, similarly C cannot be 0. So the partitions have to be placed at different locations. Now how many locations do I have? Possible locations is 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on up to 9. So there are 9 places to place the partitions. There are 9 places to place the partitions, and how many partitions do I have? 2 partitions. So the answer is 9C2, which is 36. So if we look at this particular problem in a completely different perspective, it becomes very easy. If you like this particular solution, like this video and subscribe our channel. Thank you.